Hello everyone. Today is the third part of 长恨歌. The English name for 长恨歌 should be the everlasting sorrow. In part 1 and part 2 we translated as the everlasting hate. That was not correct. Thanks one of our audience to point it out. Even in today's Chinese Mandarins, we still use a lot of the 恨 as sorrow, not just hate, like 恨嫁, 悔恨, 遗恨. It's all about sorrow. Let's get to the poem itself. In part 1 and part 2, the poem described the happy life of Tang Xuanzong, the emperor, and Yang Guifei, the beauty. And not for long, the civil war opened, and emperor and Yang Guifei, they flee to Chengdu city to the southwest. On midway, Yang Guifei was killed by the order of emperor because the troops and generals forced the emperor to do so. Otherwise, the troops will stop flee and waiting their rebellions to come, which means they will die together. So from this point, the emperor fell into such a sorrow and memorized to Yang Guifei, no matter in Chengdu city or several years later when he came back to Chang'an city. And at the moment, he's not an emperor anymore because his son is the new emperor. Okay, let's talk about the part 3, which is all about a fantasy. 林雄道士洪都客，能以京城治魂魄。林琼, a county's name in Sichuan province. 道士, monk of Daoism. 洪都客, Hongdu refers the capital city of Luoyang in the Han Dynasty. So in this poem, a lot of name in the Han Dynasty was used. Actually, it all refers to the equivalent of Tang Dynasty, the emperors, the palace, whatever. It's the custom to pay the respect to the former emperors in current dynasty. So they won't call the emperor directly. They will use alternatives to call it. So this means in the Chang'an city, the capital, so Hongduke, Luoyang is the capital, so it here refers to Chang'an. Chang'an has a monk from Linqiong County. He's a monk of Daoism. 能以京城治魂魄, so he's capable to summon the ghost, 魂魄, the Chinese ghost. 京城 means is very sorrowfully with deep heart to summon the ghost. It's also from the ancient literatures, 老子, 京城为开. 唯感君王辗转思, 遂教方士殷勤密. So the monk was deeply moved by the deep love of the emperor. So he was ordered by the emperor as well to look for the ghost of Yang Guifei, the beauty. 辗转思, 辗转, so we had this in the previous poem in the book of Psalms. 辗转 means roll over and over, so normally it's describe someone is thinking another one cannot go to sleep. 遂教方士, 方士, someone with magic, here refers to the monk. 排空玉气, 奔如电, 升天入地求之变. 排空玉气, fly in the air, take the clouds at the vehicle. 奔如电, so it's going very fast like lightning. 升天入地, so go up to the skies and go down to the earth, find everywhere. So this describes the monk is doing the searching for the ghost of the Yang Guifei, the beauty. So far, it's the end of the part 1 and part 2 actually, because it's all describe the real life, the narrative stories. And afterwards, the third part is the real third part is starting to describe the fantasies the monk delivered to the emperor. 上穷碧落下黄泉，两处茫茫皆不见。Go up to the skies, go down to the earth, and Yang Guifei cannot be found at both places. 黄泉 refers to the place the ghosts, the dead people lived. It's a little bit like the infernals. 碧落 is the blue skies. 穷 that means poor. It means explore to the most limit. So here it refers to the monk actually searched, explored till the boundary of the sky and the earth. 忽闻海上有仙山，山带虚无缥缈间. So suddenly the monk was told there's some of the mountains on the sea, where is a fair land for the fair people. 山带虚无缥缈间, so the mountain and the sea is not clearly seen, sometimes show up, sometimes vanished. 楼阁玲珑五云起，其中超越多仙子. So this describes the fair mountains on the sea was seen by the monk from a distance. He saw the buildings, the nice palaces, and with 5 kinds of clouds. 5 kinds of clouds normally associated with the place, with the fair land. And you also see some of the fair ladies in the buildings with very nice gestures. 中有一人字太真，雪肤花貌，参差是。太真 is the name for Yang Guifei when she exercised Taoism. So the most of the Tang royal people exercised Taoism and also the Buddhism. So Taizhen was the name for her Taoism exercise. So the monks saw in the fair mountains, there's one looks like Taizhen, Yang Guifei, and it's still the very nice looking, the face like the flowers and the skin like the snows, 雪肤花貌. And 参差是 is almost like that, like before. 金阙西厢报玉宫，转教小玉智双成. So the monk is knocking at the door of the temple, which is on the mountain floating on the sea. And he asked Xiao Yu and Shuangcheng, the 2 witches' name, which is from the old literature and also from the fairy tales. So here it refers to the witches. The monk asked the witches to report to her host, who is the Yuzhen, Yang Guifei. 金阙and the Yuzhong tell us is a Taoism temple. In old literature, the golden Que and Yuzhong is the typical description of a very famous Taoism temple, Shangqing. Que we had before, the building before the main gate, and Zhong is the ring on the door, which is used to knock at the doors. 闻道汉家天子使，九华帐里梦魂惊. So Yang Guifei, or the fair lady of Yang Guifei now, heard the messenger from the Han Dynasty's emperor was here. So you see, the Han Dynasty was used again to refer to the Tang Dynasty. And she was so astonished in the curtains from the dreams. 九华 is to describe the curtains with beautiful patterns, very luxury. 懒衣推枕起徘徊，珠破银屏已离开. So this all describe the fair lady Yang Guifei get up from the bed and walk out from the curtain of pearls and from the screen of silvers. 云鬓半偏新睡觉，花冠不展下堂来. So here describe the fair lady. The hair is over to one side because of the sleeping, and her head was not well put on, so he just in a hurry to rush out to meet the messenger from the Han emperors. Here, be careful, 新睡觉 is not new sleep. 新睡means her just slept for not long. 觉 means wake. So here actually describes the situation. It's just fall asleep, and because of the messengers arrive, she was awake. 风吹仙袂飘飘举，犹似霓裳羽衣舞. So here describe the monks saw the fair ladies rushing out, the sleeves floating because of the wind blows, and just like the 霓裳羽衣舞, the very famous dance, the Emperor Tang Xuanzong read the dance, and Yang Guifei was the dancer. So here, the monk can confirm it is Yang Guifei, or the fair lady of Yang Guifei. 玉容寂寞泪阑干，梨花一枝春带雨. It described the outlook of the fair lady Yang Guifei. She looks solitude. The teardrops across her face. 梨花一枝春带雨. 梨花, the flower of the pear. So the face of the outlook of fair lady Yang Guifei is just like the flower of pear, and in the spring with the raindrops on it. 含情凝啼谢君王，一别音容两渺茫. The fair lady gazed at the messenger with deep love and sadness to the Emperor Tang Xuanzong. And since the departure of the two, she has no idea what the sound and outlook of the Emperor Tang Xuanzong now. 音容 the sound, 容 the outlook. 凝涕 ning is the gazing, ti is look. So just describe the situation the messenger meet with the fair lady Yang Guifei. 朝阳殿里恩爱绝，蓬莱宫中日月长. 朝阳殿, a palace name in Han Dynasty. So here, again, refers to the Tang Dynasty's palace, where the Tang Xuanzong and the Yang Guifei lived. And now their love ends up because of the departure. 蓬莱宫 is, in a fairy tales, is a palace name on a mountain that floats on the sea. So here it just refers to the place the fair lady Yang Guifei lives. Though it's a fair land, the fair lady Yang Guifei thinks the time is so long. 日月 here means the days and the months, so it refers to the time. Such a long day, such a long year. in the fair land. 回头下望人寰处，不见长安见尘雾。So the fair lady looked back. 人寰处 where the people lives, because they are in the fair land, so he looked down to the place where people lived. 不见长安见尘雾. So she doesn't saw the city of Chang'an, the capital, but only the dust. 唯将旧物表深情，钿合金钗即将去. So the messenger and the fair lady will depart. The fair lady will send her used items to the emperor to express her deep love. 钿合金钗, 钿合 the jewelry box, 金钗is kind of the jewelries on the head. So he will ask the messenger to bring these items back to the emperor. 钗留一股合一扇，钗帛黄金何分店. So the fair lady will break the chai and her into part. She will keep one part of it, and the other part will be sent to the emperor Tang Xuanzong. This is also emulate the situation of the two. They used to be the one part or one thing together, and now they are forced to be parted as two pieces. 但教心似金殿间，天上人间会相见. The fair lady expressed her wishes. The two of them, she and the emperor, has a solid mind or solid heart like the gold. So this is a Chinese expression to express the love or the mind is quite solid, stick to each other, because it has experienced so many things, so many miserables together, and still love each other until the moment. 天上人间, so from the fair land, the heavens, and the human's land, the two will meet someday. This is the wish of the fair lady Yang Guifei. A joke, 天上人间, is a very famous karaoke name in Beijing. 临别殷勤重寄词，词中有事两心知. So at the departing time, the fair lady writes some words again, and in these words there is swears between the two, and the meaning is only known by the two, Yang Guifei and the Emperor Tang Xuanzong. So below is the words the fair ladies sent to the emperor. 7月7日长生殿，夜半无人私语时. The first sentence. 长生殿 is the palace name of the winter palace. So remember, they have the spring baths there, a lot of happy hours there. And at the date of 7th of July, at the time of the midnight, nobody around, 半夜无人. 私语时, so at this time, the two, the emperor and the Yang Guifei, they can talk privately. 私语, talk privately. 在天愿作比翼鸟，在地愿为连理枝. So if we are in the heaven, let's be the bird of Bi. If we are on the ground, down to the earth, let's be the tree of Lianli. Bi is one of the bird in the fairy tales. It only has one eye, one wing. So it must to have two birds together to fly up. And Lianli is a sort of tree that the two trees embrace each other with the branches, so it's just like one tree. So here it refers to or implies to the relationship that's never broke. And this sentence is the Chinese writing wall. 天长地久有时尽，此恨绵绵无绝期。So the heaven, the earth, sometimes it will come to an end. But this sorrow, the hen is sorrow here, is very, very long and never ends. Bai Juyi has his own sorrow. His family moved to Fuli, a small town where it is famous for the roast chicken today. He met a little girl at the age of 7, and at that time he's 11 years old. The first time we know he's falling in love with the girl is when Bai Juyi at 19. He wrote poems to express the love for the girls. And when he was 27, he has to leave Fuli for the careers, the imperial exams. Remember that? So they have roughly 17 years together at Fuli. And when he passed the exam, the imperial exam at 29, so it's the time to get a marriage because he has started his career in the right position, in the right directions. So he came back to ask his mother to marry the little girl, but his mother refused him. And 4 years later, the Bai Juyi came back to the hometown again and asked again to his mother to marry the girl, because after this, he had to go to the capital city Chang'an for the career life, and he doesn't have chances to go back home very easily. And her mother refused him again. So this is the year Bai Juyi write the Changheng Ge when he arrived the capital city Chang'an, refused by his mother twice. This year, Bai Juyi was 34. He married in 37 because his mother told him if he doesn't get married, his mother will suicide. Actually, 37 is unbelievable in the Asian Chinese. Normally, people get married before 20. 15, 16 is quite normal marriage age. So this is all for the girl's sake. And when Bai Juyi was at the age of 44, he had chance to meet with the girl again. And they embraced each other with sorrow and with tears. And after this meetup, he write a poem, and with the character, with words, hen, sorrow again, because in 34, he had this poem, 长恨歌, the everlasting sorrows. At the age of 53, Bai Juyi had the chance to pass by the village the girl lived. And he never saw the girl again. This is the everlasting sorrow for Bai Juyi, the poet he himself. When Bai Juyi died, the emperor Tang Xuanzong at the time wrote a poem to memorize Bai Juyi. It has a word like this: 童子解吟长恨曲，活儿能唱琵琶篇。长恨曲 is this fourth poem we talk today. 长恨歌。琵琶篇 is another long poem by Bai Juyi. 琵琶行. So the kid know what Bai Juyi write about in 长恨歌, and they can read the poem as well, 长恨曲. And who are the Turks, or refers to the foreigners in Chang'an city or in the Tang dynasty. They can sing the song of 琵琶篇. So this describes how popular the poem is. And also, the 长恨歌 write the story about a former Tang's emperor. And the current emperor has no objections on that. This never happened again in Chinese history. Thank you and enjoy.